In a sun-drenched village where animals lived in harmony, a small orange kitten named Leo awoke to the gentle melody of birdsong. His world was simple, centered around the love of his kind mother. They lived in a humble wooden house, and every morning they'd sit on their porch, watching the world go by. "Oh, Leo," his mom would sigh, her green eyes sparkling, "wouldn't it be wonderful to have a little red car? We could explore every corner of this village together." Leo would purr, imagining the wind in his whiskers, driving his mom through the winding country lanes. That dream, a tiny seed of hope, was planted in his heart. But not everyone in the village shared their simple joys. Felix, a Persian cat in a fancy blazer, and Sienna, a sleek Siamese, would often stroll by with Duke, the golden retriever, and Bruno, the bulldog. They lived in the grander houses on the hill. Seeing Leo and his mom on their modest porch, they'd snicker. "Still dreaming of a car?" Felix would sneer. "You couldn't even afford a bicycle wheel." Duke would add, "A Ferrari? For you? That's the funniest joke I've heard all week." Leo's ears would droop, a knot of sadness tightening in his chest. He'd look at his mom, who would gently pull him close. That evening, as tears welled in his eyes, he made a silent promise. "Don't worry, Mom," he whispered into her soft fur. "I'll make you proud. I'll build you the best car in the world." The very next day, Leo's mission began. He became a familiar sight, a tiny orange blur darting across fields and through alleyways. He was a scavenger, a collector of forgotten treasures. An old, rusted wheel from a discarded wheelbarrow, a tangle of wires from a broken radio, gleaming red soda cans that shimmered like rubies in the sun. Every piece of junk was a piece of his dream. He dragged his finds back to a small, forgotten shed behind their house. This shed became his sanctuary, his workshop, his entire world. The days blurred into a montage of tireless work. Under the dim light of a single hanging bulb, Leo toiled. He hammered, he welded, he sketched plans on dusty planks. His small paws became stained with grease and paint, his orange fur matted with sawdust. There were moments of frustration when a piece wouldn't fit or a wire wouldn't connect. He'd cry sometimes, silent tears of exhaustion rolling down his dirty cheeks. But then he would picture his mother's gentle smile, her hopeful eyes. They tried to break him with their words, but his love for her was a shield, an engine that never ran out of fuel. That love made him stronger than he ever imagined. He wasn't just building a car. He was building a testament to his devotion. Slowly, miraculously, a transformation occurred in that dusty shed. The pile of junk began to take shape. The soda cans, painstakingly flattened and polished, were riveted together to form a gleaming red body. The old wheels were fitted with custom-made hubcaps that shone like silver. He wove the wires into a complex circuit, connecting them to scavenged light bulbs that would one day glow. He carved a steering wheel from a piece of driftwood, sanding it until it was smooth beneath his paws. And in the most delicate, loving script he could manage, he engraved his mother's name onto the side. A masterpiece was emerging from the scraps, a Ferrari born not of wealth, but of pure, unwavering love. The day of the unveiling arrived. The sun was high in the sky as Leo pushed his creation out of the shed. It sparkled, a beacon of crimson and silver. Just then, Felix, Sienna, and their friends ambled by, ready for their daily dose of mockery. "What is that pile of trash?" Bruno grunted, a smirk on his face. They began to laugh, their taunts echoing through the quiet yard. But their laughter died in their throats. Leo hopped into the driver's seat, turned a small key, and with a soft hum, the headlights flickered to life, casting a warm red glow. The engine purred, a sound as content as a happy kitten. The bullies stood frozen, their jaws agape in disbelief. It was real. It worked. Ignoring them, Leo drove the small Ferrari proudly across the lawn, stopping right in front of his mother, who had come out to see what the commotion was. With a flourish, he hopped out and opened the passenger door for her. Her eyes, wide with astonishment, filled with tears. But these were not tears of sadness. They were tears of overwhelming pride, of a love so deep it left her speechless. She gently touched the gleaming red paint, her paw tracing the letters of her name. This wasn't just a car. It was every ounce of her son's heart made visible. As Leo's mom settled into the passenger seat, the bullies approached, their arrogance replaced by a quiet shame. Leo, Felix began, his voice barely a whisper. We were wrong. What you've done, it's incredible. We're so sorry. Leo looked at their downcast faces. He could have held on to his hurt. He could have driven away and left them in his dust. But he remembered his mother's gentle lessons. He smiled, a genuine, warm smile that reached his amber eyes. It's okay, he said softly, his voice clear and steady. Hate builds walls. Love builds Ferraris. He gestured to the car. There's room for everyone. That afternoon, a strange and wonderful sight graced the village roads. A tiny custom-built Ferrari, carrying a family of cats, a dog, and even a bulldog, cruised through the streets. Laughter replaced the taunts, and shared joy replaced the mockery. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the fields, the little red car sparkled like a jewel. It was more than just a machine. It was a symbol of what could be achieved not with money or power, but with a loving heart and a spirit of forgiveness. True love hadn't just built a car, it had rebuilt a community. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more heartwarming tales.